we're good to go for that. Now, the other activity that you're going to get to choose from, if you're not working with me during that teacher-directed time, is going to be our independent work component. And today we're working on word study and vocabulary. The factors that I would attribute to the success of All Block in my classroom really are two key things. And one is the fact that all of our stakeholders from the very beginning were really committed and also involved. I remember vividly at a training that we had for All Block, my principal was sitting at the table with us and she was very engaged throughout the whole process and all the activities that we were doing together. And it was just really powerful to know that she was there with us and that we were all on the journey together. Another key factor was just the timing. As a grade level, we were allotted half-day planning times to really dig deep into the All Block material, and this really gave us a chance to, gather resources, which was super helpful in regards to the organization element of putting All Block into place. But more importantly, it gave us time to really talk about the activities the students would be doing with a partner. Think about at least three adults who could help make our class project a success. So looking at our example they've done for us, also looking at how do we want to differentiate those activities and what activities are differentiated, and really kind of highlighting those pieces so that when we got to that part of All Block, we would be able to be kind of having a head start and be able to be more successful with our implementation.
All right, what would be what's something you notice about a letter, AJ?
That it's written in first person.
Okay, great.
I noticed that it has the date on it.
And what else? What do you think this part is? Go ahead, Haley.
Is it coordinates or something? Or?
Close.
When I really think about the factors of success that contribute to our school doing All Block, it would be my team, that we just committed as a team that we were going to implement this program. So every day we could kind of check in, how did it go for you, and bounce each other's ideas back and forth. Also that I could reach out, my instructional support team was inside my classroom on a weekly basis, including principals, assistant principals, coaches. It was a very school-wide driven program that we all decided that we were going to implement.
Realtor be good.
Because they probably have talked to a lot of different people who think they're good at their job and would probably listen to this.
I really think that's a great connection.
Achievements that we accomplished in our class, I actually asked my classroom this as well, and they said being able to work with lots of different groups of people. That was definitely an accomplishment for them. Also, being responsible for their own learning, that it wasn't really myself in charge of their learning anymore, it was them being in charge of their learning. And they had to become problem solvers, which is what we're looking for in 21st century skills with kids. So all of those things were achievements for my class. But challenges also, that can also create challenges along the way that we had to kind of work through. Working with many different types of people. We had to learn skills of how to work with people that maybe we weren't used to working with before. And just being able to work in a team and have those responsibilities, it took some practice. And going back to those procedures and protocols was really helpful for students.
Okay, so let's go flip to page 65. Who wants to read this page?
I do.
Practice making words only with a partner. Timekeeper sets a timer for 7 minutes. Take turns adding pre or able to the words in the middle column. Talk about the possible definitions. You may make words that you know or words that you have never heard before. An example. I pre-sleep means that the things you do before you sleep. A sentence would be, to pre-sleep, I read my book. Sentence frame, I think. And then you have to fill in the blanks. All right, so our timekeeper can grab the timer. So how many do I have to set it for again? For 7 minutes.
Seven.
Yes.
Sure. It's at 8 right now.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine.
All right. So talk about possible definitions you may or words you have never heard before. Okay, so we either use this and define it, or we make up our own words and then define it.
Okay.
Okay. So you were basically writing this blank space right here.
Okay.
So which do y'all want to use one of these words, or do you want to make up a word?
I think is it optional? I think we should use
Yeah.
one of the words.
Yes. Okay. Let's do one. Okay. So we're gonna do. Should we start with agree?
Sure. And basically, I think we're supposed to do this where it says for the example, do that, but just use one of these words or make up our own with a sentence.
Okay.
So we're doing the word.
So one of the challenges I had last year was just being able to let go with having students make their own choices for their stations. While I'm working with a group of students, the remainder of the students have the opportunity to choose one of two other stations. And last year, I had a very scripted plan. My students were arranged in groups, and it was like that the entire time we did all block. This year, as we were challenged to implement all block with fidelity and trying to really follow the expectations that all block has created, we were challenged to give students that student choice, really highlighting again that learner agency. And it has been incredible to see how they are able to make responsible choices. And again, you're seeing students who typically would not be working together, if they were grouped by ability, they're really able to help each other. And that's been super powerful to see, again, how as a teacher letting go of that control and allowing students to have the opportunity to make those choices can really make a difference in their learning. And it makes your job a lot easier because you're not having to worry about the logistical plan of how you're organizing your students, what that's going to look like, but just really giving them that autonomy to make those choices on their own.
So what do you think the specific thing
She helps us learn.
Yeah.
So, how All Block provides equity and access to all materials for all my students. I do want to just say too, all of my students, from even my highest kids to some of my struggling learners, they have leadership roles during the All Block, which I feel has been so important. And even some students that maybe in quarter one or quarter two were very, more refrained and didn't want to participate. I'm seeing in quarter three and quarter four, they feel so comfortable in the protocols and the material now that they are participating. It does allow access to all of those texts that we have, of higher level complex text, so that kids, all of All Block, they're carrying with them their actual EL text or the curriculum supported extra text. So it allows that opportunity, even if they're in and out of my classroom sometimes throughout the day in resource rooms, that they are getting that exposure in class. Then we also have heterogeneous groups. So they're one rotation, they're gonna meet with me.
Group 3.
And that's my planned group when it's gonna be more homogeneous that I assign. But the other two rotations, every day is different who they're gonna work with. And that really has provided more equity for the kids in my class, definitely to work with varying learning styles, different exposures. Oh, I remember when we were working with the AIG teacher and we did this, so they can have that different experience and different backgrounds.
I learned how to write your name and the address.
I think the one piece of advice I would offer is finding a buddy or a team of buddies. I think trying to do this on your own would be a little bit overwhelming. Again, and any time you're trying something new, it can be very challenging. But having, in our situation, we had not just one partner, not just a grade level. We had our entire campus, supporting one another. But being able to have someone to meet with regularly, share ideas, problem solve. As you know, whenever you're trying something new, it doesn't always go smoothly. So it's really helpful to have someone who's in there with you. And again, as our team, we had spent a lot of PLCs just talking about what was working in All Block, things that we could maybe change, and giving each other suggestions to help make those lessons more successful. I just can't say enough great things about All Block, though. It's been such a great journey, and just seeing the progress and the growth of our students has been really rewarding, and just encourage you all to just keep on trying.
The benefits outweigh any sort of extra frustration or work it may be for the teacher. We are seeing benefits in the students, just in their word work, in how they're reading, even their strategy use too, which has been really exciting to see, rather than just I'm doing it for the teacher. And hopefully that these are long-lasting skills for them because they have implemented them themselves. So that would probably be my best tip, is really work as a team.
Okay.
Are you a facilitator?
I'm timekeeper. That was facilitator.
You can be a facilitator.